little while ago, I had the honor of calling Senator Barack Obama to congratulate him. Please. To congratulate him on being elected the next president of the country that we both love.
If there is anyone out there who still doubts that America is a place where all things are possible, who still wonders if the dream of our founders is alive in our time, who still questions the power of our democracy, tonight is your answer.
There you go. America has its answer in Barack Obama, the nation's 44th president. Welcome to Point Blank. I'm Yvonne.
And I'm Ling. No prizes for guessing who's the star for the day.
That's right, but since we can't have the man himself here in our studio, we did the next best thing. We have 3 young people with us today. We have Ng Tze Yong, journalist with a new paper, Jessica Lim with the Straits Times. Jessica, by the way, is also a US citizen. Gregory, who is doing his master's in sociology right now in university. And also, heads up, later in our show, we'll be talking to our editor, Eugene Liao, who is right now in New York.
But before we go any further, let's see what gave Obama the winning edge.
On YouTube, on Facebook and MySpace, on Twitter, basically all over the internet. Some would say that's where the battle to be leader of the free world was fought and won. And here's how the candidates matched up in cyberspace. Barack Obama raised at least $320 million through internet donations alone, 2/3 of his $640 million war chest. John McCain didn't do too badly either, raising an estimated $120 million from internet donations. No small sum, but that's a whole $200 million short of what Obama pocketed. And going by the number of friends Obama has on social networking sites like Facebook and MySpace, the richer candidate is also the more popular one. 3.3 million supporters are friends of Obama, 4 times more than McCain's 825,000. And YouTube has about 604,000 Obama-related videos, twice as many as those on McCain. And what if the world could vote, which it did on iftheworldcouldvote.com. An overwhelming 87% of some 866,000 world citizens picked Obama. So why the marked difference? Analysts say it's because the internet is the playground of the young, and there's a tendency for the 18 to 39 years old to lean left. And in this case, the blue corner just seems more cool than the red. Would you rather be friends with a 72-year-old man who is not your grandpa, or a 47-year-old dude who can boogie like this?
All right, you got a little...
Who comes across as more confident, a man who is calm and composed on television, or one who looks uncomfortable under pressure? Let's just forget about what the US think for one moment. The Straits Times' very own Youth Inc. reporters conducted an online poll. 79% of 141 respondents aged 17 to 27 chose Obama over McCain. And one factor that helped them make their decision, the candidate's personal charisma and character. And from what they have seen so far, they felt that Obama was intellectual and soothing, though inexperienced. McCain was old-school, bellicose, and a Bush clone. And they got all these just from watching television, surfing the internet, and reading the news. And Obama himself knows his appeal.
Past the days when the main criticism coming from the McCain campaign was that I'm some kind of celebrity. I have to admit that really hurt. I got so angry about it, I punched a paparazzi in the face on my way out of Spago's. I'm serious. I even spilled my soy chai latte all over my Shih Tzu. It was really embarrassing.
McCain and running mate Sarah Palin drew a few laughs themselves, appearing on Saturday Night Live, but it was probably too little, too late.
So we see how Barack Obama certainly has got stage presence, got media presence, and he's the man who, who's the star of the day. So let's just get a feel of everybody in the living room right now here.
Yeah, maybe we just do like an impromptu straw poll.
Yeah.
So
just be honest, okay?
Yeah.
Who has your heart? Okay, let me start with you, Greg. Who has your heart? Is it Obama? Is it McCain? Or neither?
Well, it was kind of neither for quite a while. But I think as time went on, I kind of swing towards Obama quite a bit until I realized one of his niggly things. His stand on abortion kind of mattered a bit to me.
So that swayed your vote?
Yeah, I kind of went back to neither.
Okay.
Okay, so that's you, Greg. How about you, Tze Yong?
I will vote for Obama. I think in many cases, when you vote for somebody, it's sometimes a battle between your head and your heart. But I think for Obama, it's pretty clear-cut. If my head says Obama, my heart also says Obama.
Okay. How about you, Jess? You who are a U.S. citizen.
I think I feel the same way as Tze Yong. Yeah, definitely. I think now in the situation that the U.S. is in, it's definitely a good time to vote for Obama. He represents like a shift away from the Republican Party. I think America needs that now. And people need hope, and I think he represents that. I think that's one of the large reasons why he won.
Yeah, and change is sort of his slogan for all his entire campaign all this while, yeah.
We've been talking about change and all that, but we're going to change a little bit later, right? Because, we have something coming up when, what people think about him and all his talk about change. So maybe let's just talk, did you guys expect the win? Because, he's been leading 10 points, 12 points at one stage. Were you guys expecting that kind of win? It was quite a big margin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, very comfortable, yeah.
No, I think I definitely expected it. After he won Ohio, and then since, no other Republican has ever won Ohio, won the presidency without winning Ohio, then I thought, it was a surefire win for him. Yeah, I thought he would win, definitely.
It was amazing because one side of the country has gone to sleep and the other side it's still wide awake and he's already won.
Yes. I think I would feel quite despondent if it was the other half.
Yeah, I just got to bed lah. Why bother, right?
Yeah, then he's already won, the game is over.
I was quite surprised at the margin of the victory because in the days leading up to it, I was hoping that Obama would win, but America is a strange country sometimes, especially with the media and the folks in the middle, the red states. So I was quite interested in the poll that said 87% of the world will vote Obama and only 12% will vote McCain. When I was in the last election, I was in the US studying in a university, and during that winter break, I traveled across the US. I drove my car across the US, and I just realized for the first time, this is such a huge country. It sounds like something that any idiot can tell you, but driving across the states in 1 month, you see the different places and you realize that this is one country, but it's many, many different countries together with many different histories. And for us from the outside, we look in and we say, hey, Americans are blind. Isn't it obvious you should be voting for Obama? But when you're there, you're voting for your town, your village or whatever it is, and it's not that obvious anymore.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you brought that up because a lot of people have been talking about how Obama has a very young sort of base of supporters, and I think it was earlier on CNN where they actually had the breakdown in all the age groups, and the older people are the ones who stuck by McCain. Do you all guys have any ideas? Why do you think this is so? Why are young people drawn to Obama? Earlier we also showed it in our VT, all the various stats and on the internet.
Is it largely do you think it's largely due to the fact that Obama is young himself, or something other than that, just, that veneer of a very charming politician, that he actually has got substance in what he's promising?
Yeah, it's done, so...
Yeah.
I think it's not just his appearance, his youthful appearance. It's also what he says. I guess there was a period of time in US history where it was quite partisan, and there was this whole, it's Democrats or it's Republicans, and there's no such thing as working together. And for quite a while, right, trying to work together was kind of basically you're against your own party already. And so that was kind of the old way of thinking. And McCain kind of portrayed it with his, his kind of snide remarks on Obama and many of the advertisements that he paid for. Whereas Obama tends to be more conciliatory, and he tries to advocate this we can do this together. And I'm kind of glad that McCain in the end also said that when he congratulated Obama.
Yeah, there was one key thing about that. Obama had kept a consistent message throughout his presidential campaign, whereas McCain changed his tune a couple of times. It seemed a bit, hey, what is he saying here? So that seems to be one of the
one thing he didn't change. Stay far away from Bush.
Yeah.
So do you think in the end that the Bush factor came into play?
Oh, you mean? Oh, definitely. Because I mean the Bush regime. Okay, not regime. The Bush. Yeah. I mean the 8 years definitely. I think led to many of McCain's statements, being undermined even before he started campaigning. I definitely think that Obama's youthfulness has helped him quite a bit. I mean, he's more mentally agile. He's more open to asking for help. For example, in areas where he needs help. For example, with regards to the financial situation now, I mean, he's happy to ask. To admit that he needs a panel of good experts, and he got that panel of good experts, as opposed to McCain, who seems so stuck in his ways to ask for help. And I think that had an effect.
I think McCain likes to talk about his experience in the Vietnam War, and that only goes so far, to people who have never lived through the Vietnam War.
It doesn't really resonate with young
people. They might actually estrange some young people.
So these guys who have never lived through the Vietnam War, they look at the wars that have happened since then, the wars in the Middle East, the first Gulf War, the second Gulf War, and they're all, caused by Bush in different sense. So it is a different war that causes them to vote for Obama, but for other people, it is the Vietnam War that causes them to vote for McCain. McCain is speaking to the flower generation, the hippie generation, 40 years on. Yeah. You see? But these guys are not going to vote for Obama.
So what about I think we can't have any discussion on US elections without talking about Sarah Palin, McCain's running mate. I must confess that I was actually quite taken by her somehow, she's attractive and she talked okay at the beginning, and then somehow it just went so do you think that people actually think, this one is going to be, should anything happen to McCain, she's going to be the one to lead the US? Do you think that was something that was constantly in people's head, especially after they see her blunders again and again?
Yeah.
I think McCain will, I read somewhere, so don't attribute it to me. I read somewhere that, McCain will, down the road, he will have to take responsibility. He might feel guilty that he put America at risk, at this point by choosing Palin, because he probably knows that she's not the best person. The reason why they chose them is not, why he chose McCain is not because she is the best person per se in the whole US. Let's say there are 4 of us, okay, you guys versus us. Palin is the best person at this point to fit into these dynamics. You see, she has strengths and she has weakness, and that she fits best in these dynamics. But after the elections, her strengths and weaknesses will be played out differently. See?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think the selection of Palin was definitely an electoral strategy on McCain's part. I mean, he needed to pursue the middle class mother, to vote for him, the white middle class portion of society to vote for him, and that was his choice. She hasn't, I think it was a bad choice on his part. She has never been stepped out of Alaska, and if something happened to 72-year-old McCain...
She can see Russia.
For me that's a different... Yeah, that makes a whole lot of difference. But, it's just, I think, a bad decision and very, very hasty. He only met her twice before he decided to choose, the most important running partner.
Yeah, but when it comes to voting, the reality of governing actually hits home, and Palin would have to, answer for all those things, which could be a big question mark on everybody's heads.
I think a bit of, at the beginning when I first saw her, I was like, oh, she's trying to find somebody like Hillary Clinton. And it's just so far from it. Do you even think there's a comparison there, Greg?
Well, both have some experience in politics in America. Apart from that, I think there's quite a huge quantum difference. Because definitely Clinton is way more polished, and she has a lot more background. Her husband was president, and she had quite a lot of experience with all these tough issues, right? And she kind of has her critics as well, but she also has her strong base of supporters. But Palin only has her hockey moms in Alaska, so it's not. I don't think there's. Yeah, it's kind of quite a gap.
Okay, so far this is our our take on the US elections, but we're going to go for a break right now. After the break, we're going to look at what people on the streets are saying. We're going to talk to Razor TV editor Eugene Liao, who's right now in New York. So we'll see you right after the break.